welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us here at the roadswetravel.ca. My name is David, and we have with us a special guest and friend, Pastor Jody MacBeth. Welcome, Pastor.
Thank you very much, David. Glad to be here.
Yeah, Jody, you are the pastor of the St. Croix Christian Center located in St. Stephen. The building has an amazing history, and it was originally built as a Royal Canadian Legion Milltown Branch 444.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And, back in the day, legions were built throughout Canada to service our war veterans and their families and to provide remembrance to those who fought in wars for our freedom.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's like you were celebrating veterans back in the day and victory. And here you are today as a church celebrating victory.
That's right.
For God's kingdom.
Very true.
Yeah,
Very
it's amazing.
True.
Amazing. Now, you purchased the building back a number of years ago. Totally transformed it from where it was to where it is today, and it's certainly a beautiful icon for Jesus.
Yes, it sure is.
Yeah, it's amazing. And a great gathering place for God's children.
Amen.
It was one of your church family that mentioned to me years ago that the building is a ministry tool to convey the good news to local people in the community.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
When he said that, it always stuck with me.
It's been there was a prophetic word that was given out over that congregation, and one of them was that we would be a hospital for sick and hurting souls.
Wow, I like that.
And it's been pretty exciting to see that come together. And so we honor the veterans every year. Branch 48 always comes together, and we talk about the people that gave their lives, and that slogan, all gave some, and some gave all.
Mm-hmm.
And how that we every year, November the 11th, during that time frame, we gather together and we remember, we talk about there's people that walk in there still that carry the wounds from a war,
Yes.
mentally or physically, and how that comes together in the spiritual realm, that people walk in weekly from wounds of war.
Wow, yeah.
And they see the healing. The scar still may be there, but now they've learned from it. The scar reminds them, not so much anymore of the pain, but from the gain of God's love and God's power, that his love and grace is now greater than the scars.
I love that, yeah.
So,
Wow.
so now we have a whole room of spiritual warfare veterans coming in.
Yes, I like that. I like that.
And now we're raising up generations. I believe it's out of Psalms 24. It says this is the generation of Jacob that will seek after him.
Yes.
And will pursue after him. And now we're seeing a whole group of warriors rise up, veterans that were teaching the way and guiding the way. And it's all, the Lord directed us to this building just 4 short years ago. Not even that, 3 really short years ago. Transformation inside and out.
Transformed it to God's kingdom. Wow.
Bottom line.
Amazing. I attended a few of your services there, and God's presence is certainly in the room.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the worship is wonderful. You always have great, powerful messages.
Thank you.
Yeah, I compliment you on that. And I'm sure that the Lord is very, very pleased with you.
We believe so and trust so. That's all that matters to us.
So if somebody wanted to attend your service, what all do you have there? What time are your services?
All right. So Sunday morning is 10:30.
Yes.
And so at 10:30 we have what we call a celebration service, and that's where we gather together from the age 19 and up. And we gather for a powerful time, exciting time of worship and praise together. And downstairs, we also have an education wing. It's called Kingdom Kids. And so from age 3 up to the age 18, we have a time for each age group in that category. And so when they come in, the children up to the age 18, they head downstairs. There they have fun. They have games. There's teaching time. We're teaching them basically how to connect with God and how to connect with one another. So there's a worship time. There's a prayer time. There's an instruction time. There's a social time of games and activity as well. And so that's been our fuel. People ask me all the time, how is this thing growing? How is this thing sustaining?
Yes.
The furnace, the engine to this whole system really is Kingdom Kids.
Build a foundation.
That's the foundation.
Yeah.
It brings in families one after another. We just done 4 baptisms of adults just a week or 2 ago.
Wow.
But every one of those, the root cause of them even being there was because their children or grandchildren was in Sunday school way back in Vacation Bible School or something. So Sunday morning, 10:30, we're usually out by noon. And so Sunday morning's the big one of the week. There's no doubt about it. Folks, if they come by, will hear a message that is really geared towards someone that's come off the street.
Yes.
I remind the veterans all the time, I'm not here to tickle your ears with how much Hebrew or Greek I may or may not know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to reach a heart that's hurting. That's what I'm there for Sunday morning. We do have a gathering time also Sunday night at 6 o'clock, and that is more of a gathering of the believers. Anybody is welcome to come, but it is more of an intimate worship time. It's a teaching time. We pray together. We share together. It is very much a more intimate time for sure. That there goes from 6 o'clock to whenever. There's no time frame set on that. I've been there.
Okay.
We've been out at 7 o'clock. I've been there. We've been out at 10 o'clock. Whatever the Lord wants to do, that's his deal.
Well, fellowshipping is very important.
Huge. Absolutely.
Getting back to your kids program, the Kingdom Kids? Is it
Yes.
called? Yeah. I was there one day, and it's probably about 40 or 50 kids there.
That's
Kids of
correct.
all ages.
That's right.
So if a family wanted to come in, they're going to feel very comfortable, regardless of what their age of the kids would be.
Absolutely. And the other thing we do with the youngsters, as they start growing in their faith and in maturity, what we do is we start integrating them into leadership ministry. So mostly the age 12 up to the age 18, the moment I meet them, we are finding out, what are you good at? Or do you like to draw? Do you like to paint? Do you like to do music? Do you like to sing? For example, we have a brand new young lady that just started coming just a few months ago. So she's actually going to sing a solo to the whole congregation Sunday morning
Fabulous.
coming.
Builds up confidence in them and really brings out the gifts that God has planted in those kids.
Pretty exciting. So
Pretty
we have
exciting, yeah.
one young lady plays her ukulele. My daughter sits in the front row every weekend, plays her ukulele. Another young fellow plays his guitar. So they're getting introduced to how the worship band flows together, works together. So yeah, so it's it doesn't matter what age category you're at. I really stress to the congregation, we are a congregation that needs to be reaching the Abrahams and the Isaacs and the Jacobs. I can't skip any generation.
Yeah.
We don't have that license to do that. As long as our heart's beating, regardless of how old your heart is, we're after that heart.
Yeah. Well, it's critical for a family, for a mother or father, a single parent, to get their kids into a church program to build that foundation for them.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, it makes a big difference
Yes, sir. It sure
later
does.
in their lives.
Pretty powerful.
And you have a full kitchen there, too. You have a lot of special events taking place.
A lot of community events. One of the focuses that we had when we came here was what is our mandate? What are we going to do to connect to the community so we're not some isolated group that gathers together twice or three times a week and everybody else in town just sees them as, oh, those are those folks.
Yes.
And so we really strategized with our leadership team about how it is we can do special events. God has given us this facility and the kitchen. And so we partner a lot with Branch 48. And we do, for example, the annual Chocolate Fest. It's a major town event. We do town dinners. We do anything possibly we can do to do an event that will connect with the local community. Fundraisers.
I like that.
Yeah, just anything.
Planting seeds for God's kingdom.
That's it. It's not that complicated.
Yeah. I know that you have a discipleship training program already started, I guess, back a couple weeks ago.
Correct.
Could you explain that just a little bit in case someone's interested, wants to attend that?
Sure. So under that program, that's not my program. We actually received that program from Faith School or from Matt Ward's church in Charleston, Maine. And it's a program they use now for 22 years. We use the framework a little different. We've made it fit the culture of where we're at. But in all reality, it's 12 modules. Each module covers a certain category or topic of the Christian faith. So if someone has just given their heart to Christ and they're trying to figure out their footing in the faith, they're trying to figure out, where do I belong? What's this all about? Why do I believe what I believe? The book of Acts says, to every man be prepared to give an answer. That's what we want to do. We want to have folks be prepared to give an answer when the question is asked. And so for far too long, the response in southern New Brunswick, and I think for any region, has been, well, here's the phone number to my pastor. Maybe you could give him a call. He'll answer that. Or, oh, so-and-so's in the hospital. Maybe Pastor Jody could run in and pray for them. The objective here is several-fold, but it's to actually take these folks and help them realize my prayers work just like your prayers work. We have different offices, but God hears us the same as he does anybody else. We gather together the last Tuesday night of each month at 6:30, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yes.
It's fill in the blank, so I'm going along in the manual, and it's actual, you get a binder, it's all free of charge, but you will fill in the blank. I take my time, making sure that everybody knows the answers to the blanks. And at the end of that module, We do a quick review the next time we get together. So we get together the last Tuesday of every month. And the reason we did that, because there's so many young people in our congregation, in our community for that matter, that doing it weekly would be too much because their plates were already full before we started this ministry program.
Yes, okay.
So I was trying to do something where we could do it, reach the Abraham, Isaacs, and Jacobs, because let's face it, the Abrahams, the retired folks, they would do it every night of the week if I announced it. Whereby the Jacobs could hardly get there at all.
Yeah.
So I done a census across the group, and that seemed to be the general consensus. Okay, I can do this once a month. If I can get once a month commitment. So the new folks, if you want to learn more about the talents and gifts and callings that God has called you to be, we actually help pull those out of people, train them, and diagnose those and say, okay, where are you being led?
Yes.
For the veteran, for that person that's been in the faith for years, you been coming to church, doing your thing, warming that seat and doing a good job warming it. You know all the songs, but you want to take your ministry to that next level. I actually utilize this ministry tool as a train the trainer program. So when I give out a concept of whatever that it could be, faith, hearing God's word, studying the word, praying in the spirit, knowing the voice of God, knowing the callings of God, knowing the church offices, whatever it may be, I will give the concept out to someone that is brand new in the faith. And then once I'm done with that concept, I will then say, now, if you're someone who is seasoned, here's what you need to know to teach this to somebody else.
Yes.
So the ultimate goal after these 12 modules is done is that these folks can actually take this program to people's kitchen tables anywhere and teach it one-on-one with somebody that they've connected with and build and train them.
I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
It says in the Bible that for us to go out and train up disciples
That's
for the kingdom.
the bottom line. And God has convicted me that, Jody, you've done a great job churching people, but you haven't done a great job discipling people. I can hype them up on the weekend, but where's their footing Monday morning when the storms do come in? And we all know you're either in a storm, you just left one, or you're walking into one.
That's right.
So either way, we're caught, we got to be prepared.
I like that.
Yeah.
So the discipleship training program, you started a month ago, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So can somebody just go now? Is it too late for someone to start attending?
No, not too late at all. And the
okay.
reasoning for that, so we don't miss out, is it is audio recorded.
Okay, wonderful.
So that will be posted to the website, which is stcroixchristian.com.
Yes.
And then also the PDF files are downloadable or they're fillable blanks. And so the documentation is also on the website, and you can either download that to your iPad, your phone, your computer, or you can print it off, whatever you want to do. Okay. And so that way, we did design it that way because we realized not everybody will get to all 12.
Yes.
And that's okay if you do miss it, because you'll get the audio, you'll still get everything. And we won't do it in the months of July and August, because we realize it's peak season for family time, vacation time, travel time.
Yes.
And we are trying to follow that school year style, I guess, as it were. So, yeah, so someone misses, no big deal. So by February the 13th, in that time frame, the original audio will be up on the website. The documentation will be there as well. There's no charge to it. They can click on it, download it, use it, whatever it needs to be.
So that website is www.stcroixchristian.com.
That's correct.
And ST?
That's correct.
stcroixchristian.com.
That's correct.
Yeah, so people can visit and see what's going on your site. You have some wonderful video podcasts on there.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I watched you all summer there. It was great, doing a great job.
Thank
Jody.
you.
Wow. Wonderful having you in today.
Great to be here.
Thank you so much. We look forward to you returning.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Blessings on your day. Thanks for listening, everyone, and have an amazing, amazing week. God bless. Amen.